Hello all, Ernesto here, hoping you're having a good day. I don't know if I'm wishing or screwing up already. That's par for the course, really. Bringing you a nice summary of a knife I've done a review on. I will link the review down below in the description. If you would care to like, subscribe, comment, etc., that would be great and it would help the channel. Still trying to grow here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I can make of this thing. This is the Civivi Neurohaptic. And as you can see, this is a sizable knife. I have done a review and come to the conclusion that this is a very, very nice, positively reviewed knife. I like this thing. I like this thing a lot. I like this Shred G10 that they're doing. I mean, it's really good looking. I like the blade. It comes down surprisingly thin. It's got a nice look to it with this guard. It's got a usable forward choil. I don't know what the jimping up here is for. I guess you can... yeah, you could do that. It's not bad. It's a little bit sharp because it gets very thin, but it's not bad. It's still usable. It's a good-looking knife. It's sort of an aggressive style knife. I could do without the giant post at the end, but, I mean, you can also get rid of that if you want. Just Dremel that off. But, overall, this is a pretty cool knife. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at Nitro V. You can kind of see it there in Civivi's fashion. It's tiny, and the blade is almost completely sterile, which is beautiful. The C on the pivot is that, that two-tone reflective. And I like that more than the one that's just blacked out. That looks, I don't know, a little weirdly classy. We have got a button lock on bearings. We have a very nicely jimped, all the way, even though you can't really get to it, flipper tab up there. You could say that this causes a weird angle, but honestly, just sitting your hand here, yeah, it works. It really works. It flips surprisingly well, despite the angles. You can also reverse flick it off of that fuller. The blade is sort of a clip. Well, I mean, it's a clip point, not a trailing point, but a clip point. Low tip, pretty low, even relative to the pivot, and you can get to that tip axis quite easily. Size-wise, as I said, it is a larger knife. You've got, I'm going to measure to here, and I'm going to measure to here where it sits the furthest in. To there, you're at 3.75 inches of blade, 3 1/4. To there, you're almost at 3 7/8. So a little bit more technically, but that's kind of where the blade ends, in my opinion. Handle is 5 1/8, mostly because of this doohickey back here. If you get rid of that, you'd actually be just slightly under 4 7/8. So you'd actually shorten the knife a decent amount. Now, that said, it's a 3.75 inch blade, and it feels like a large knife, especially the handle. The handle makes it feel even larger because you've just got a lot of real estate here. I mean, tons of real estate. It's open, it's neutral, it's super comfortable. You've got light shadow boxing with the liners peeking out, but they're rounded and kind of crowned. It's very well done. The G10 feels excellent. This G10 is interesting. You'd think maybe it would feel slick because it's got no texture on it and it's this shredded stuff. But it doesn't. It still has a little bit of tactility. It's nice. And they've also given you this little bit of milling, which I think really just finishes off nicely. It is reversible pocket clip. Love to see that, especially considering button lock, left-hand friendly. Pocket clip is deep carry, standard Civivi, and as with standard Civivi, you can go on Amazon and get a $12 titanium clip. That you have to make sure you get the right one, but they come with different screws and everything that would replace that, which you could do. But honestly, this is super comfortable with that, and it doesn't look bad, right? It's not the ugliest clip in the world. So I didn't bother. I have that clip for other knives. This is... Oh, plunge grind. Plunge grind could be better. It does hit, right... This is one of those ones where it's hard to tell. It looks like it hits right here, but it looks like it's very close to a similar thickness with the knife at that point. So it like tapers down both this way and this way a little bit, it almost looks like. So you might have a little bit more life than you're thinking before you have to do anything, and it's got a flipper tab, so you can cut in a choil, you can expand that, you can deepen that choil without a problem, which may not even be a bad idea. Just expand it a tiny bit and deepen it, because you are a little bit on the close to the edge if you choke up on this knife. So it might actually be just a good idea to do right out of the gate. A smile may develop, but it shouldn't be too bad because the grind seems to really dissipate well, though it does technically stop there. It is traditional button lock. Civivi does some of the best button locks. Drops, nice. It does have a little bit of stick when I do use the flipper or the reverse flick, and give it that little extra, like, I guess the reverse flicks where it's probably these, yeah. The reverse flick and the flippers are sticky if you just sort of whip it out like this. There's not really any, so it's just the little bit of extra force making it stick in a little bit harder. And personally, that's a good thing in my opinion. It means your lock is more reliable, especially on budget knives, when some of the tight tolerances and everything aren't going to be executed at the same level. Having a little bit of stick on your button lock, not really a big deal. In fact, almost preferable. Just a tiny bit. Not like it's like this grating, horrible, painful, like, no, but a little pop, it's fine. And that's what this one's got, and it's rock solid. I have given it a few spine whacks. I don't want to continuously do that all the time, but I have done it. Ergos are neutral, huge, as I've already said. Tons of room. You can get, yeah, I can get back here on this knife. So, not a problem whatsoever. Honestly, this is just a really good knife. It is not, however, and one thing, T8, hardware, all around. Love to see that. In fact, is the pocket clip also T8? The pocket clip's not T8. Pocket clip's T6. So if you're messing with the pocket clip, which you would only have to really do once, it's got inset screws, though the pocket clip itself is not inset, which is still fine. The pocket clip's T6, but everything else, if you're just doing general maintenance on this thing, you should probably only ever have to interact with T8s, which is a nice touch. If you flip the pocket clip, you might want to flip this screw to the other side because, well, actually, I don't know how that would work. Would you keep the T6 on this side, or would you put it on, would you bring all the screws and flip it? I don't know. I'm not doing it. Don't need to. I'm not technically left-handed. I mean, I'm capable of actuating and using my left hand, but I'm not technically, that was horrible, technically left-handed. So, I'm not going to mess with it, but it's a really good knife, but it's not a budget knife, unfortunately. It does come in around the $79 to $80. I think it's on Civivi's website, it's like $82. You can usually find them around $79 at most vendors. I will link it down below if I can. I should be able to, using my Amazon links. They give me a little bit of commission if I sell something, so if you're going to buy it and you want to help out the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated, but that's completely up to you. I do think this knife is worth buying. I don't know why. I just really like the aesthetic that they went with here. It's very tactical. It's very sort of, but at the same time, it's got a certain elegance, especially with this handle material. There is also a like $100 one with the peel ply carbon fiber over G10 and the Damascus. Civivi does use a good Damascus, and it's one of those Sanmai ones that looks really cool. Both of these knives would probably be perfectly reasonable, and honestly, at that $20 more for the Damascus and the carbon fiber, even if it is the peel ply one, it's pretty reasonably priced. I would have loved to see this knife be at about $70, but I can see some value here. It's Nitro V. You got this unique G10 that you don't see all often. and you've got a lot of knife here. It's a larger knife, so yeah, I can be fine with that. It's also heavily milled out. Look, see those giant pockets in there, straight through. So it's not even all that heavy. In fact, just I know it's not a full review, and I don't want to do everything, but 4.29 ounces. I don't know if you can see that, but 4.29 ounces. So the ratios aren't terrible. I mean, 4.29 ounces for 3.75 inches of blade. That's not bad, considering when you start getting into longer blades, you tend to get faster weight, or higher weights. Faster weights. I don't know what the heck that is. Faster weight. If a weight can move now, weight has a speed limit. It's not quite light speed, but it does add some speed, apparently. I think it adds drag, but maybe not. Overall, the Neurohaptic, I, just like I said, really like this knife. That's kind of why I'm dragging on here, because I enjoy this knife. I like playing with this knife. I like just sitting there sort of feeling this knife. I don't have it out as much as I should, so this is nice. Also, came with a really good aggressive edge. I will give it that much. Wow, they did a good job on that edge. It's not as thin as some Civivis, but it's still pretty darn thin. And yeah, this is a good one, even if it's not, unfortunately, properly in the budget category. I will link it down below. And as I said, I will link the full review, which goes into even more details and talks about ergos and all that other stuff. I think I hit on everything that I want to, so I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. If you want, like, subscribe, comment. Did I say that already? I'm losing my track of things. This is like the 4th video in a row. I'm just completely fizzled out now. I don't know if what I've said and what I haven't. Or if I said it on the last video, if I didn't. Who knows? See you guys. Thanks for watching.